Darth Maul defeats Obi-Wan in Rebels. Trains
backing
Luke.
up a little bit. And trains Luke.
Trains Luke.
Wow.
Because he knows Obi-Wan's watching over Luke.
Oh, man.
So
that's
he
another
trains
really
Luke.
good one. So,
Yeah.
so Maul takes out Obi-Wan, knows Luke is there, and then gets him to go with him and train.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so obviously Maul's ultimate goal is he's still trying to get at the Emperor, right? Like,
Yes, he
that's what
wants to take out the Emperor. Yeah.
I think they still join the rebellion. I think Maul uses the rebellion.
Yeah, he's got a hint of that in him.
Because he's good at that, right? He used the Mandalorians, right? They were fodder for his purposes.
Yeah,
I think him and his sneaky, deceptive ways, he trains Luke. They band up with the rebels, and then of course at the end he does his own thing. But oh man, that's a great one. I like
but
that.
Does he though? That's the question though, because what if he does get what he wants? What if Luke, like, what if they do take out the Emperor and he can just go do his little crime thing? Like, what if he just kind of turns into a softie like Boba Fett? I mean, that's
yeah,
back to bathing and crime.
That's a good question. Is what would Maul even do once his vengeance quest was over, right? Because
like the dog chasing the car
it pretty much defines him as soon as he loses to Kenobi. That's a defining trait of his character. Every time we see him, is he wants revenge, and so he loses, to Ahsoka. He loses, he and Savage try to take out the Emperor. They lose that.
That's a great duel, by the way.
It would be interesting to see what his character does if he got revenge. That is interesting to think about. Does he just fade off into the distance?
Yeah, I mean, he would get it twice, right? Because he would get the Obi-Wan revenge
Kenobi
finally,
and the Emperor,
and then the Emperor. He would assume he'd have to take out Vader too.
Because does Maul want to lead the Empire?
No, I don't think he cares.
Care about that. I don't either.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, he's still not going to not want power.
Listen, in a weird way, I could see this turning out well, right? Like, he and Luke take out the Emperor. Maul's done. I don't know. It depends on how corrupted Luke was, I guess. But
yeah, I was going to say, it depends on if they join the rebellion or if Maul takes Luke within the crime syndicates and they go that route. Because then Luke is just like a super slimy Sith Lord under Darth Maul. Or I guess he wouldn't technically be a Sith, but
which I guess
it would be that situation.
Is there enough firepower in the crime syndicates to get him into that position, take out the Emperor? You'd have to get them all together, I feel like.
There's in the comics, the Vader comics, you haven't read them. I've read, I'm caught up until this year's editions.
Okay.
There's like a whole little arc where the crime syndicates are gunning after Vader. And so, and there's like, some backstabbing goes on, things like that. They're formidable. I will say, I won't spoil the whole thing, but they are formidable in this battle. They've got the resources and everything. So, I mean, they'd have a seat at the table. They'd have a chance. Yeah. And I mean, if you got Darth Maul and Luke, plus you've still got a rebellion going in from the other direction on them. So that would be a cool 3-pronged trilogy.
Although, does the rebellion cease to exist without Luke?
No.
Probably. You don't think so?
Well,
I mean, the Death Star doesn't get blown up.
Well, no, you're right there, but I'm just saying, like, as far as that timeline goes, because Maul would get Luke at, a certain age at that point. So, I mean, you've got a period of time up until Yavin where that would be a thing.
The rebellion wouldn't be gone immediately. So, it's interesting.
Also, all right, here's another thing. Sorry, this is a tangent, but like, let's say they're going to blow up Yavin. Just take everybody somewhere else. I mean, I know you don't have like the longest amount of time, but like in the sequels, not that they're perfect, but like they start getting people off of what planet were they on in 7 and 8 that the First Order like bombards, they have to run away. Were they actually on Dantooine or were they somewhere else?
At which part? What are we
talking
about?
So in 7 at the end where that rebel base is, and then 8 where they're leaving at the beginning.
Yes, I know what you're talking about now. It might have been
the rebellion wouldn't end. It would not be a great situation, but they would end up on Hoth or something like that. Like they would have a new base. Now the Death Star would just keep showing up and blowing up those bases, but that's a different thing.
Slight problem there.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a really good question. If Maul gets Luke, I think though the Empire ultimately wins probably.
Oh, I think
because you got a divided factions, and so the bigger of the three wins would be my thought there. But then Yoda's still out there. I don't know. Would be interesting.